So, one of the questions that I see and I get asked quite a lot is, do Macs need antivirus, or antivirus, if you will? Now, that question is complicated, right? Because for the longest time, Macs were not immune to malware, but you found that malware was written more exclusively for Windows-based systems because they are much more popular and more commonly found than Mac systems. So, because of that, those are the systems which get targeted the most. With macOS, it's kind of been security by obscurity for quite some time. Now, I've seen lots of people give opinions on this, and I've heard people say, no, macOS doesn't need any kind of malware or virus protection, which they're entitled to their opinion. Other people have said that the built-in mechanisms on macOS are enough, and usually that's probably true, but there's a few exceptions in there. But here's the problem. People do things on a Mac or any computer which can lead to them getting compromised. All of the protections which Apple puts in place could just be overcome through user interactions. So, what do I mean? Well, let me just walk through this quickly, and then we'll actually get to a cool piece of software as well. So, there's various different components to macOS. And if I open up the settings, you'll see there's a privacy and security section right here, which allows you to say what applications have access to what particular services. Fair enough. Why does that matter? Well, because some services contain like personal information, like motion, fitness, right? Your contact, your calendars, your photos, right? Any of those can contain private information. So you want to limit the number of applications which have access to that. Now, whenever you install a new application, occasionally they'll throw up a little message which says, do you want to allow access to such and such? And you click on yes, or it will take you to this window, and in here you will be asked to switch certain things on to make the application work. Now, a couple of things which are pretty dangerous here is files and folders, where you're going to give specific access to certain applications for certain folders on the system, or there's the full disk access. Now, what full disk access allows the application to do is to basically read and write and do whatever it wants on that computer. Okay, so me giving permissions to App Cleaner and a couple of other things in here means that like they have full unmitigated access to my computer, and they can do whatever they want, essentially create files, delete files, modify files, and so on. So I have to give a certain level of trust to these applications in order for them to be installed and to be enabled to have access to those items. Okay, so there's that. Then we also have other things. We've talked about File Vault before, how it's important to encrypt your information. We also now have lockdown mode, which is quite new. Now, lockdown mode, I'm not going to turn it on because I worry about what it's actually going to do. It makes your computer very hardened against attacks. And they have said here that if you are personally being targeted by a sophisticated cyber attack, like maybe you are a politician or you are a journalist or something along those lines, where there is potential for you to be targeted by these people, then you might want to turn this on. It will, however, have a negative effect on the performance of the computer, and you may find that some applications are not going to work as well as they did before, if they indeed do that. A couple other things, not necessarily in privacy and security, but in general on a macOS system. There is some built-in antivirus called Xprotect. Xprotect is it's a reasonable attempt at antivirus software. The reason it's only a good attempt is because it is only based on signatures. What does that mean? Well, whenever a new piece of malware comes along, it has a specific signature. Like you can take a hash value, a cryptographic hash value of a certain file, and you can then check that against known pieces of malware, and it will come back as saying that this is what it is. There's also other things, like certain things like what files and folders might the malware create, what items might it access, and things like that. So all those things go into Xprotect. Now, there is a problem with that, is that a lot of modern malware doesn't rely on staying the same all the time. Like, whenever a piece of malware may execute on your system, it may have a unique hash value because it was created specifically for attacking you or your company. There's all kinds of things which can go wrong with signature-based protection. And because of that, Xprotect, it's a little bit behind the times. In computer years, I mean, it's hundreds of years out of date at this point. They do update it with signatures, relatively frequently, once or twice a year. But the fact of the matter is that if you have complicated malware coming onto your system, Xprotect is going to do nothing to protect you against that. So, what do I suggest? Well, first of all, if you follow the general principles of staying safe online, where you don't open random crap that's either sent to you or that you find on the web, you don't download pirated software, you don't get involved with file sharing or anything like that, then most of the time you should be okay. But if you're worried that someone's going to come along and maybe use your computer to access things that they should not, then it might be a good idea to get a piece of antivirus software. I'm not going to recommend a specific piece of antivirus software because they all effectively do the same kind of job. All right, now, one thing that I do want to show you, just ever so quickly, is that let's say that there was, in fact, or you suspected there was a piece of malware on your Mac system. There's a nice little application that you can use called Knock Knock. Now, this, again, you can install. It comes from the Objective-C website, okay? Lots of really nice tools on there I talked about last time, including the Lulu firewall. But here, all you have to do is hit Start Scan. And what it's going to do here, it's going to go through all of these different items in here, right? Now, some of these, you may have some idea what they are. Others, you may not, right? So, system extensions and kernel extensions are both used to create kind of like background services for specific applications, okay? Which means that there's not really a lot of interaction required on your part. They may automatically load whenever macOS loads up. So, scan complete. Okay, so let's take a look at a few of these, right? We've got some browser extensions, okay? We can look in there to see if there's anything suspicious in there. And if there was, I could say, just show me this. And it will show you exactly where that is found, and you could then delete it if you so desired. Okay? what else is there? Background, manage tasks. So here you can go through and see if there's anything which looks remotely suspicious, right? Now, I've already been through this before, and everything that I have in here is something which I know is is necessary for my computer to be running, okay? So loads of stuff in there, and some of it you may not have an extremely good idea about what they are, but you can go ahead and just look them up online. Let's see, extensions and widgets. I have an autofill extension, kernel extensions. I have stuff for SSDs and also for accessing Android devices on my computer. That's all because of the forensics side of stuff which I do. Launch items, again, anything as you go through here that may be of potential concern, you want to go in, check it out, and try and get rid of it. You will also see, that's what I was going to say before, I kind of spaced it. You'll see we also have this VirusTotal thing down on the side here. Now, what is VirusTotal? Well, it's a website on which you can search for malware. Okay, you can enter in MD5 or SHA-1 hash values. You can search for specific file names and so forth. So what Knock Knock is doing here is actually taking these applications and searching for them on VirusTotal to see how many antivirus applications kick this back as malicious in some way, okay? So as we go through, you can see 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, let me move that, 0, 0, 0, 0. Okay, so loads of stuff there, and none of it seems to be particularly relevant. Login items, again, go through, you check those, and then I want you to check down at the bottom our system extensions. Right, and in here we've got DNS monitor. I have that set up. Virtual camera, WireGuard for my VPN. VPNs we'll talk about another day, and so on. Now, all of these things I'm perfectly fine with. Right, these are things which I've put on my computer that I feel confident in being legitimate applications. All right, so that is pretty much it for today. So we talked a little bit about general Mac security. We talked about XProtect and about its lack of clear methods of tracking malware. And then we also looked at Knock Knock. Next time, well, I'm undecided what we'll talk about next time. Maybe VPNs. Maybe we'll look at something else instead. All right. Well, thank you very much for watching, and I will talk to you later. Bye.